Hello, first grade families. Now that we have a week of remote learning under our belts, we want to take a few moments to walk you through our daily schedule. It is our hope to share the intentionality of the schedule, as well as give you a better idea of the opportunities and flexibility that lies within our schedule to best meet your students' needs. Students begin by logging on to the grade level Zoom between 7:50 and 8 a.m. using the same link daily. Class does not begin until 8, but an early sign-on helps support the logistical side of our Zoom. When students enter, they will find a mindfulness activity to engage in. These activities will range from yoga to breathing exercises to guided reflection. Students are welcome to participate in these activities at their own comfort level until class begins. This is also a great time to ensure their device is charged and they have the necessary learning materials nearby. Once majority of our students are logged in, with the aim of being as close to 8 a.m. as possible, we will open breakout rooms to start our morning meetings. From 8 o'clock to 8:30, we engage in morning meeting to focus on age-appropriate social, emotional, and behavioral goals. Currently, we are focused on strengthening relationships among each individual class. The communication right now is teacher heavy, where the teacher is exchanging with students. Our goal as we move through the year is that morning meeting becomes more student-led and the balance of talk becomes more student-to-student centered to ensure a strong classroom culture. After morning meeting, we leave our class breakouts to move back into the grade level Zoom, where we have a 3 to 5 minute scheduled break. It is our intention to make this a structured break, but we have been and will continue to collect data in this time slot to see what types of break garners the best student results. So far, we have tried B3 Brain and Body Strategic Activity Cards, Go Noodle guided dance and movement activities, teacher-led stretches or movements, and timed unstructured breaks for students to step away from their screen. We will continue to gather data that will most likely mix in a variety of things, as we know what works for some does not work for all. Students are encouraged to participate at their own comfort level, and we see that comfort level growing each day. We also want students to regulate their needs in this time. If they need to step away, even if we are doing a structured movement activity, this is a great time for them to mute, stop video, and respond to their own needs. We then move into literacy from 8:35 to 9:15. Engaging students through texts, whiteboards, drawing, writing, discussion, and embedded movement will hopefully help this time fly by. Following literacy, we feel it is important to provide students with a screen-free break. We've tried music videos, timers with music, and timers without music during this time to see which most encourages them to step away from their screen and learning space. We will always work to provide an audible change to help students hear when it is time to come back. Students are then moved to breakout rooms with their homeroom class for specials: art, music, PE, media, and STEM. The first 25 minutes of specials is synchronous, where the special area teacher is leading the instruction. The next 25 minutes is asynchronous, where students are encouraged to complete the tasks assigned by their special area teacher. At the end of the synchronous portion, the special area teacher will direct students to leave the breakout room and move back into the grade level main Zoom room for the asynchronous portion. Some special area teachers will offer to stay in the breakouts if students choose to work on the assigned task in that setting, or if the student has a question or needs support. When directed to leave the breakout room, students can tap on their iPad screen, then click on the Leave button in the top left corner. A menu will come up where students will select the first option, Leave Breakout Room. If the student accidentally selects Leave Meeting, he or she will simply have to log back into the Zoom using our meeting number and password. When they leave their special area breakout, they will return to find this screen, which prompts them to utilize the remaining time on the timer to make one of the 4 choices: eat a snack, go to the restroom, take a break, or work on the assigned special areas task. We will start the 55-minute timer at the beginning of specials. Again, 25 minutes is allotted for the synchronous portion, 20 minutes for the asynchronous, and then 10 minutes for snack. When students are released from the synchronous breakouts, they should have a full 30 minutes to decide how to utilize their time. Please help your student respond to their feelings and needs. We want them to take an extended break if that is what their brain or body is craving. Their special area task can instead be completed during their independent work time in the afternoon. We do encourage students to step away from their screen for the final 10 minutes of the break, at minimum to have a snack. It is best if they move out of their learning space to have a separation and truly feel like they got away. The alarm will sound to signal that it is time for us to begin again at or near 10:10. We will then dive into 30 minutes of math from 10:10 to 10:40. We will again use engagement strategies such as whiteboards, manipulatives, embedded movement, and eventually additional apps to keep students engaged and excited during this time. Each math session also begins with a math content-focused movement to help refocus our brains and reinforce skills. Our small group time is scheduled to begin at 10:40. As we are still getting to know students and beginning to collect data, we are using this time to return to classroom breakouts to continue to build relationships, teach key technology skills to lay the foundation for our virtual-based work, and to explain procedures or expectations. Once we have assessed all students, we will begin to use this time for differentiated phonics groups. Every student in first grade will thoughtfully be placed in a breakout group to work on target phonics goals in this time frame. Our small group time is titled Workshop, a time and space for students to continue to practice skills both independently and with support. Currently, we are using this time to get to know and assess students. In the future, students will either be working with a teacher one-on-one, in a small group, or choosing from the menu of independent choices at the bottom when they're not in a breakout with a teacher. Every child will attend at least one of 3 small groups, so each child will be touched by their homeroom teacher daily. When students are selecting an activity from the independent choices, we once again encourage them to follow the needs of their brain and body. If they would like to save the additional academic practices or independent work in Canvas for later in the day, they are welcome to do so in order to get a break. We just ask that they check back at the end of the timer for each slide to ensure that they do not miss a group time with their teacher. A new slide will be presented every 20 minutes with new groups projected. The independent choice menu will change frequently based on subject focus and to keep student interest. However, the Canvas and break choices will always remain on the menu. We wanted to also share a first grade schedule compared to an example from our upper grades, both for feedback's sake and to help ease any sibling or instructional pod rivalry. Where we log on at 8 a.m. and continue until 12:20 p.m., you will notice the schedule for upper grades is more dispersed. This was created with the trust that our older students would be more independent logging in, as well as able to self-manage time to know when to attend live instruction or small groups. Their schedule, being a bit more broken up, also supports the need and opportunity for more ability group-based structures that are proven effective in grades 3 through 5. We know our K through 2 students require more frequent breaks, but also are more dependent of adults, especially while logging in. Therefore, a single sign-on schedule was designed with the hope that parent or guardian support would only be needed prior to the initial 8 a.m. sign-on, and then, once students build up their stamina, not again until independent work in the afternoons. Both schedules, when followed with fidelity, result in the same amount of instructional minutes. Our current schedule is a more family-centered pivot from the district's model schedules while still meeting seat requirement times. We promise a lot of careful thought and intentional design went into making this schedule. Our schedule is, at this time, a set building expectation, as it also staggers instruction across the building to allow support staff, such as academic facilitators, EC, ELL, and speech professionals, as well as our teachers' assistants, to be available to serve all grade levels at key times throughout the day. However, if we receive consistent feedback that a schedule with more frequent breaks, despite the management of multiple sign-ons and start times, is in the best interest of your students, we will happily advocate for a change to meet our children's needs. Our collective objective as a team is put kids first, every day, no matter what. Please know that our remote setting is not something any of us would have chosen. It makes our goal more challenging. We never imagined we would find ourselves here. However, we won't back down from the challenge because, well, kids first, every day. We too share your concerns about screen time. We too are worried about the amount of time they are seated. We are mourning the loss of small opportunities like moving from their seats in the classroom to the classroom carpet, and the big impact that change like that can make. Most of all, we are hurt over the absence of talk, body language, proximity, high fives, and hugs. It's not the same via a screen. Please know that we know. But again, it does not mean we won't try. We are teachers. It is what we do. We forge the path of training a new lot every year. It takes time. It takes patience. It is always messy and very exhausting in the beginning, no matter how prepared, organized, or seasoned you are. For the first time ever, though, you're truly seeing and feeling the hectic pace and struggle that the beginning of the school year tends to be. You are journeying it with us. It takes stamina, which isn't built over a day or a week or even a month, but slowly built over time. Generally, with a lot of missteps. They'll tune in a little better next week than they did this week, and wait until you see them down the road when routine, ritual, and relationships have been built. Our secret is all about mindset. There are some moments this week that we all wanted to cry, cuss, or give up. Are you over it and they know it? Or are you modeling positivity and a can-do spirit? Are you throwing in the towel over a bad day? Or are you showing your child that even if today stunk, tomorrow's a new day? Are you dwelling on what went wrong? Or are you finding what went right? Is your focus on perfection? Or is your focus on noticing and celebrating small, continuous improvement? Are you aiming for still, quiet, focused learner? Or are you accepting that some spunk and wiggles are developmentally appropriate signs of a healthy, happy kid? Are you being made to facilitate your child's remote learning? Or are you helping impact change and shape our education system to ensure we're better once we're finally back? It's all about perspective, and they pick up on each of ours in our actions, tones, and conversations, even when we don't think they're listening. We're in a time of grace and flexibility. We need to give each other a pass and extend the most gentle, caring accountability when we each lose perspective. We all need to believe that this is going to work, though, because if we tell our kids it will, it will. And then we'll work together like crazy to make it happen. The silver lining of our remote learning situation is that we've never been able to collaborate on this level. We have always worked well as a team, but now we can truly link arms in caring for, celebrating, and growing all kids in first grade. We still would like you to communicate with and build a relationship with your child's homeroom teacher as your main point of contact. But as we are planning and preparing, our purpose has shifted and it has grown. No longer are we referring to students as my kids or your kids, but now they're all of our kids. We know how much they missed in the spring, and we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of every moment of every day to make up the ground that we lost. That level of urgency and increased responsibility is helping us raise our game. We are leveraging each team member's strengths for the benefit of every child. We are able to offer a myriad of styles, knowledge, and personalities. Among us, you will find calm, silly, routine, enthusiasm, humor, nurturing, structure, passion, consistency, understanding. The list goes on. We are reinforcing what one another is saying. We are stating or teaching things in a different way so that it can fall on students differently. We are learning from each other, and we are pushing one another's practice. It is our hope that by partnering in these extraordinary times, that the daily content becomes more engrossing, that it sticks with students, that students get to hear from a variety of voices to reaffirm what they already know, but that most of all, each child will have access to a teacher, or even a few, that inspire him, that motivate her, or overall that they just click with. Now, more than ever, students need to see teamwork and community lived out. It is our hope to be a living example of that, and we are honored that we get to partner with you in that journey. Will you join us?